258.
258?
Yeah, fat boy.
258.
Big time.
We're live. So I'm going to go ahead and share the live stream.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
But,
yeah.
All right, guys,
Is that big for
welcome. Welcome to episode 2 of Tugboat Talks.
Can you believe he's like 300?
Yeah, he's like 300.
I know.
that's crazy. This should be better for picking up the audio from everyone.
Definitely.
So episode 2, guys, I'm just sharing the stream right now. So everyone is going to be able to find it.
Hey, we have one viewer, or is it us?
It's probably us. It's probably us. I'm just gonna put it on Facebook right now, and then we'll put it on the Discord, and then Kyle's gonna lead this actually. So we'll switch seats here,
Mhm.
and we're gonna be talking to my dad, Chance's dad.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's where I get all my power from, and we're also gonna be talking to Alden Harlac. He just had a super match today with Brian Laferriere, which you ended up winning 4-2 on the left side and losing 6-0 on the right side, but they were good matches. All right, so I have it shared. Let's switch seats here.
All right. You want me to lead it?
Yeah, you're leading it. So this on your channel this week.
I know.
My forearm is blown up.
Yeah.
My freaking, look at my bicep, dude. This thing's all cut up and like red purple from the table. I'm going like this.
So you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
You're
so
gonna have to scoot that way.
yeah, so we can make sure
you're
we
gonna
can
have
see
to
it.
come this way.
Right here?
Yeah.
That's about good.
Awesome.
Maybe scoot back a little bit
Who, me?
this way. Yeah, there. That looks better. Don't you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right, so we should have some people starting to come in. The
Yeah.
microphone looks like it's all working. The video looks like it's doing good.
Awesome.
I'll keep up on the chat
I'll share
with
the
my
link.
phone.
I'll share the link right now.
Everything should be. Yeah. Polar Public said hello. So Polar Public's in here. What's up, Polar Public? It's the Discord boys.
Right on.
All right.
All right. So this is episode 2 of our podcast, and
So
this time we have Alden Harlac, a 185-pound arm wrestler of Florida who only super matches.
in practice.
Yeah, high-level pro arm wrestlers, right? And then we have Chance's dad, a strength phenomenon, world champion record holder in the bench press. Have you ever competed in strip curl or no?
No, not in the
No?
WNPF.
Gotcha.
I did it over at Iron
Religion. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Chance roped me into that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm like, we're going to it to hang
Yeah.
out. Artem was putting it on, and it was an arm wrestling practice, and they were having a strict curl competition. So I'm like,
Nice.
we're already here. Just may as well try,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Like, I haven't lifted in years.
Yeah. So that was after you started lifting, but curl was one of your favorite exercises, right?
That's, one of my biggest.
Yeah. So this is just more of a chill podcast today. We were supposed to have Brian Laferriere on, but he's actually getting changed, picking up some clothes from place I'm staying at right now. So we got Alden and Chance's dad, Dan Shaw. We're just going to ask them a few questions, starting with Alden. Alden, what's your next big competition?
King of Florida.
King of Florida. What are you doing right now to get ready for that?
Training every single day. Back pressure
Mhm.
from different angles. So
Gotcha.
to get really specific, where the strap lays in my thumb, I always put the strap right here, and I'm either doing full range of motion like this,
Mhm.
or I'm just really focused on this rising pressure like this off the go. So those are like 2 of my favorite variations to do of back pressure. And then I'm doing just cupping from right here, center position, wrist curled in, and finishing like internal rotation for the side pressure and for my hand strength. That's all I'm doing every single day. And I'll throw in like every once in like 12-ish days, I'll pull pretty hard with someone really strong, and then go back to training every day in the gym, just cupping, back pressure.
Nice. That's cool. And then you had a super match today with Brian. How did
Yes.
that go?
I came in knowing that I was gonna either lose or it was gonna be a big war. I knew it wasn't gonna be easy because he's super
Yeah.
strong, and he's beaten people that I think I'm not even on the level yet, just because I don't know. That's just how I am. But yeah, I had on the right hand, I had like my hand was strong enough and my back pressure was good to pull him back, and so he doesn't pin me right away. So it was a good battle, but it's just his arm strength. He's so strong. That's all I need is more side pressure. And I think I would have beaten him. And he also said if my side pressure was like a couple percent higher, I probably would have won. But
So you ended
good
up
match.
4-2 on the left arm. You won,
Yeah.
and then 6-0 on the right side. He won, but all wars. It wasn't.
No,
any easy
nothing
matches.
was easy.
Except for the fourth match when you gave up.
Yeah, I was so blown up.
What about you, Dan Shaw? Are you planning on competing anytime soon?
Well, I'd like to go to the IFAs in September since it's right here.
Nice.
I mean, my
When-
son's got to drag me along.
You might as well just win the world title while you're there.
Yeah, okay.
What class do you plan on competing?
209. What is that? What's the kilogram on that?
95 kilos.
95 kilos?
Yeah, 95 kilos
Mm.
and 50 plus.
Yep, Masters. I'll be
Grandmasters.
50. Grandmasters.
Masters
I'll be
is 40
52.
plus. Grandmasters, you'll be 50 plus because you're 52.
August, I'll be
Nice.
52. So I'll probably do the Florida States too, or the
King of Florida?
King of
Florida.
Florida. I'll do that one too.
Yeah. And what weight
Nice.
class would you be competing in?
220.
220 at King of Florida. Okay.
I think King of Florida is going to end up being a really good tournament.
It is. There's a lot of good super matches going on there.
Yeah.
Craig Sublair has his match with Josh Bishop. I'm
Huge.
sure you
I'm
you
so
guys
excited
know.
for that.
That's the headliner. Who else is pulling there? There's a couple other matches
Well,
I
you
can't
want me
think
to
of.
pull there. Let's compete in the competition.
Yeah, but I mean super match wise, there's a few super matches.
So Austin Wade was supposed to have a super match left-handed with someone.
Yeah, but Caleb something or another, but he backed out.
Mhm.
Yeah, so then we were possibly thinking about trying to get Austin Wade and Alan Fisher to have a super match.
That's right. Yeah, and Alan's interested.
Yeah,
So
so we'll see how that goes, but
Come to Florida. Come to Disney.
yeah,
No masks.
no masks.
definitely.
Yeah,
I really like Alan's odds in that one.
yeah. Well, we'll
I
see.
think Austin Wade is one of the strongest up and coming lightweights right now. Beats many people if you give him a super match against him. But I think the skill that Alan Fisher possesses still.
Yeah.
If he trains up for it,
Well, I mean, he has about 100 years in the sport, so
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely has the experience there.
Yeah. Experience.
That's not dog years.
Yeah. Yeah, he has more experience than probably any active puller right now.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. Yeah, Alan's done great things, but
He's been nothing but dominant the last 40 years in this
Yeah.
sport.
what other questions did you want to ask them while we're on here?
Yeah. So Alden, so you already kind of told us a little bit about your training, but more than anything, what do you feel like your training does for you specifically as an arm wrestler?
It gets me stronger.
Yeah, that's just the main goal: get strong as possible. each and
I
every-
think I have a decent, and when I mean decent, I mean a small understanding of like, there are two lanes in arm wrestling.
Yeah.
It's back and to the side. And if someone is stronger than me, I can feel it from the setup. I can feel it in their hand. So then I'm not going to try to match them with side pressure. I'm going to be running away and trying to use quote unquote technique, pull back like this. So, yeah, I think it's just all about getting stronger. Because if I get stronger, and I've noticed it just makes it so much easier to beat everyone else. I don't have to sit here and try to think of ways to run from them and do stuff in the setup and be smarter, which I also am trying to learn, but I think getting really strong is one of the most important parts about arm wrestling.
You have Chance Shaw, though, who only lives an hour away from you.
Yep.
Have you ever considered getting more extensive training from him for a period of time to see if that changed things positively or negatively for you?
Of course. I mean, I've known him for like a year ever since I started, and he's taught me literally everything I know. So
Yeah.
I always reach out to him. I try to ask him as many questions as I possibly can. Whenever he's available, I always want to come over and train and learn from him. So hell yeah, of course.
Definitely. So I'll be seeing you here a lot more then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I flew all the way over here, Alden.
Just for you.
I've seen you
Just for
twice
you.
in the last week.
I know, that's pretty good.
It
That's
is.
pretty good.
It is.
Did you pull both times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit today.
So can we see
Oh, that's
you?
better.
Yeah,
so
much better.
We're looking more at it now,
Yeah.
too, which I like.
Looking right
So
now.
we have 6 people in the chat right now in my live.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad for you. Being your first live, your first video you posted, and
Did
in
you
a
put
long
me
time.
in there? I probably drew a couple in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would actually say that
Hashtag
all of
chances.
them.
We should have shared this under your bicep curl video that Devin
Yeah.
Lorette commented on.
Yeah, we should have. Can we
Yeah.
actually pull that video up and like show it on the screen? Oh no, we probably couldn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't have it set up. I could have had it set up, but we just went live off the webcam.
Gotcha.
If I knew we were going to do that, I would have just done it off OBS. It wouldn't have been a problem. But
Well,
you didn't tell me.
It's okay. This is more of a chill episode anyway.
yeah, it is. But
So I hope you guys will join us for our next episode. On Monday, we're having Krasmir, and we're going to be talking to him about his training and getting into that.
that'll be good.
It will
That'll be good. But if you guys haven't seen it, check out my dad's YouTube channel. He doesn't have access to it anymore. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Brian, come on in here.
Dan, hello, sir.
How you doing? I'm Dan.
Dan, nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Brian.
meet you too.
Brian, we pulled for like another hour,
This is
bro.
perfect, dude. Shows nothing but my body.
That's funny.
Do we have a seat for Brian?
Yeah, right there, the beanbag chair. Put it right there in front of the door.
Beanbag chair.
So Brian, we'll ask you a question.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So
Oh, actually, perfect.
you're the strongest, most skilled arm wrestler under 200 pounds in Las Vegas.
Yeah, out of two people.
Pulling
Top 50%.
pulling everyone in Las Vegas with your extensive knowledge. Who do you think is the best up and comer coming from Las Vegas at the moment?
Under 200 pounds?
That you think could be a top 5 in any weight class,
Any weight class.
and well, not in their weight class they compete in, right? So in the next few years, who has the most potential?
two people come to mind,
Mhm.
and they're different sizes, just different people, and that's
Mhm.
Jason Latona and Mason. I don't know Mason's last name.
Mason McCandless, I believe.
McCandless.
Or McCandless, something like that.
Mason is significantly younger than myself and Jason, with the
Yeah.
potential of, if he took it seriously, maybe, close to Devin, if he, 20 years plus in the industry of work of arm wrestling. But
Yeah.
Jason and Mason probably. Brandon Allen, he's a super heavyweight, super strong power lifter, but
Yeah.
still new to arm wrestling, but still severely damageable in any tournament against, low level pros. So yeah, those three come to mind.
Definitely, yeah. It's funny you say that because if I had to say 3, I would probably name the same 3. I think Jason has a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge he applies to the sport. He's thought about this sport for the last 20 years without actually training or competing in it. He's only been training for the last year,
Yeah.
I want to say.
I believe he competed like back in the day, and when he lived in Florida, he did pretty well. And then
Yeah.
life happened, and everyone has to work.
Yeah.
And arm wrestling's obviously not fun all the time.
Yeah.
But I think Jason has severely good potential.
Yeah.
I think his training is top notch. He takes it seriously, far more serious than I do most days. And in a super match, it would be a coin flip with me and Jason on a certain day. That's for sure.
I think we need to see it.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go to the gym right before a super match with Jason.
I'd work out right before it.
Yeah.
During it, no. I
In between.
I would not feel confident going against Jason in the real match unless I was 100% fresh. And that Jason should know that.
I think that says a lot. A lot of props to Jason for sure.
And Mason also, but Mason's heavier than I am.
Yeah, Mason is the most skilled arm wrestler out of Las Vegas.
When I was first coming up in arm wrestling, a lot of people mentioned your name and Mason's name.
Yeah.
And I've never met Mason. I've never seen him travel or compete. He seems like a really strong, talented, younger puller. I just wish he'd get out and practice more.
Yeah.
Or compete more, I should say. Yeah. Has he gone to any competitions that you guys know of?
He competed in a competition, the California State Championships.
How did he do there?
Say it was 2020.
Yeah. He competed in Utah.
I think he beat a couple people, but none elite. He might have beat Josue Serna. I don't know that for
that's
sure.
a good win.
If he
that did
did,
happen.
if he did, then that's a good one. But yeah, I mean he's got a lot of potential, but he's no longer a lightweight.
Yeah.
He's about 220, I want to say.
Okay. He's a heavier guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got bigger. Except for you got smaller.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, from when I was a younger guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're healthier too now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stronger and better, but definitely smaller.
Yeah.
What's up, Daniel Urick? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. It's good to see you.
What page is this?
This is on
This
Kyle's
is on my
page.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, on Kyle's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so we've started a podcast called Tugboat Talks, and we're just going to do episodes on Mondays and Fridays.
Yep, Monday's on my channel, Friday's on Kyle's. Anything else you wanna touch on?
Well, I feel like we could ask your dad some more questions.
Yeah. So what do you have to ask him?
So can you just give us a quick rundown on your history and the gym side of things? How you've competed in powerlifting competitions and
Sure.
done that sort of thing?
So let's see. About 14, I started lifting weights, and always hung out with the guys that were going to the gym, and actually those guys were juicers. Can we use that term still
Yeah.
used now?
Yeah.
So,
I drink
but
orange juice every day.
orange juice, cranberry juice, apple juice. So I was always the strongest lifter. So I just continued on, didn't do any competitions or anything like that. And one day, one of my friends called me up and said, "Hey, there's a powerlifting meet here. You can do bench only if you want." It's at LA Fitness in South Orlando. So I showed up there after him convinced me. I'm like,
What year was this?
no. It was back in, I don't know, before you were born, son.
If you had to guess.
I would say 98 probably.
Okay. That's when I was born.
No, I'm sorry. No, actually it was 2003, because 2004 is when I started competing.
So there you go.
Yeah, so
So
I show up
2003.
to the gym, I'm warming up and everything, and I got 450, 405 on there, and I just rep it a couple times, throw it back up. Well, everyone decided they weren't going to compete anymore because I'm just playing with the weight. So this guy walked up to me and asked if I competed, and I said, "No, I don't. Doesn't everybody have a 500-pound bencher?" I said, "Nope." So I got into competitions, and I started doing bench press and competing in that. And
Under what
Um,
organization?
under the WNPF, World Natural Powerlifting Federation. So
Nice.
it was a drug-free test, and I've always been strong. I mean, I'm only 5'8", but I used to dunk a basketball. I won several long jump competitions. I was fast, 4'8". I mean, it's pretty fast. So I was fast, strong, and just agile.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were taking martial arts, and then I had to choose between martial arts and powerlifting. I chose powerlifting because, I mean,
Careful
just,
with that table. It vibrates the
sorry.
camera.
Sorry about that. So anyway, my best was 496 in competition with the pause. That's raw, and then best in the gym.
What body
was,
weight?
That was the 242 class.
Wow.
So I started in 220s, and I always stayed around 235. So I tried to get to 198s. I did 495 touch and go for 206, but I only had 3 days left. So I couldn't get to 198. So I did that, and it's strong, but there's a couple of guys out there, Dickie and Kip Spires, and those guys rock it out.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Different organizations.
different organizations. So I competed in 220s to 276s, although I was always sitting around 230, 235 pounds. Even 276, I didn't beat my own. I didn't want to beat my own records. So I have a lot of records from state to national to world in the bench press, and like Chance mentioned earlier in some of his shows, that I went to. What got me into the sport is I went to do a powerlifting meet, but they had push-pull. I don't like pulling. I just like pushing. So I entered a arm wrestling competition at that particular time, and it was super heavyweights, and it's just amateurs. But I hadn't lost. I mean, like most guys, we all lift and we go through. We're at a bar.
And
Somebody
I'm
calls
sure
out,
you actually.
and I never lost.
Yeah.
Never lost.
Like a lot of guys do say that, but to me, you are one of those guys that would actually struggle for a while to find one person that could beat him in arm wrestling.
From high school on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the champ in high school and all the way up, and every time I never lost. Actually,
There was one guy.
1991.
Yeah,
Yes, in 1991,
really.
I showed up to a bar, and it had a bar, and they had an arm wrestling competition. So this arm wrestling competition they had, I went ahead and entered, and that was the 176s, believe it or not. I graduated 185 pounds, but I showed up at the bar a week before. Of course, I was there 5 days a week. I showed up the bar the week before, and I knew it was 176. I was already 180, so it was nothing for me to be 176. Got in, lost to the guy, and he just told me, as long as you keep your arm in, you would have beat me. If I would have just held tight and just used my whole body.
Was that your first time on an arm wrestling table?
Yes, because everything was.
I mean, it sounded like you were right out of high school.
No, in 1991, I was 23.
23?
Yeah. So I was used to like everybody else. You put your hand on their elbow, they put on yours, and you're ready to go. That's what you do. That's all I knew. So
Wrestling's on now.
hold this, and all I'm doing is this.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Chance gets upset at me because like, Dad, stop just doing this. This side pressure. That's all I knew. I didn't know, everything else that you guys did.
Yeah.
So that I did lose that time. So fast forward back to 2014 Europas. I entered that, had a couple of monsters I went against, and went undefeated there. And then the following year, my son and I went again. And then I said, okay, well, I saw all the same guys from the year before. We're still amateurs. And then I dropped to the 220s, 242s at that time.
242s.
And then I just went undefeated there again. So then I entered one more competition and then went undefeated there. That I think Anthony or somebody was holding a tournament.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So
Was that the?
I think it was a Gators or something.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
anyway, after that, Chance told me and Brandon Moore says, you got to go pro. And then I lost. And then I was disappointed.
And
So,
Daryl Oliver, though, the monster hand, just.
Daryl Oliver was.
did you
like
ever get
Derek's
to compete?
size.
really?
Yeah, he used to compete here in Florida.
And was he an amateur? Or
No,
was he
No.
Okay.
He used to be probably the number one right-handed puller in Florida.
Oh,
Yeah,
what,
beat
what,
me.
when does that happen to him?
He's a strong man. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, have you ever competed against Chance in a tournament?
No.
No?
No.
Wow. So, you guys have a 0-0 record then?
But he told me before he was 18, he was going to beat me, and he did.
Yeah.
And if it's all about power, those of you who watch this and think it's about power, it's not.
Gotcha.
Not completely.
Yeah.
Because you gotta have to have a lot of power, but he cracked my wrist, and that was it.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
That's cool.
So I'm in and out of it. I stopped doing it because I have some health issues that I was dealing with. High blood pressure runs in my family. So, I mean, it's even my daughter, your sister has
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure. So anyway, doc said, stay away from that for a while. Then we found the right medications. And then so I'm in and out of it, but I'm not consistent. I'm just,
You're just having fun.
just having fun.
So you mentioned earlier you don't like pull, you only like push. However, your favorite exercise, if I remember correctly, was curls.
That's true. My favorite was because I was really good at it and probably made it why I was strong. And
I feel like a lot of people that are going to watch this have already seen your curl videos. And maybe they didn't know you were my dad, but now that they see you here, maybe they'll recognize you. You had a few 100,000 views on your curl videos.
yeah,
And-
like 300,000 or
And
something.
Devin Lorette had commented on there 10 years ago saying you should try an arm wrestling.
Yeah, and all the comments on there are those real weights? Can they be real weights? No way. And there was people comparing.
So what was the weight?
that? The one with the most views was a 120-pound dumbbell. So no, not fake weight. It's just
I'm
a
looking
preacher
up there.
curl. So you just take a preacher curl, and I would just take it, and I'd warm up with 85 pounds. So how would I be cheating with 120? Because 80, I got to that point where 85 was just all right. Let me warm up. So I'll warm up, and I'll stop, and I pause and bring it back up, and I rotate it back up. So and sometimes I would just twist it and come back up, but 120-pound preacher curl, just like this
For reps.
for reps.
What was the most reps you'd ever done at that weight?
125 for 6. That was the most.
Did you ever go higher?
We only had 125s. So
Wow.
I never.
What a problem to have.
It's like bench, the most we have is 125. So you got to wear yourself down before you can start using the dumbbells because they're too light. But
It's a good problem to have.
not that I could do that today. But
No, but you can still probably curl 85 pounds easily, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Curl more than any of us in the room.
Well, besides me.
Besides, yeah.
How much are you curling right now, Chance?
I haven't done preacher curl in a while.
Yeah?
But I don't do, his range of motion was like this.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my range of
I
motion
don't,
is
I don't,
fluid.
I don't do that. So my range of motion is more here, right? I stop past like almost before the pin, if it was an arm wrestling table. And this is my
If
range of
you were
motion.
open,
I can do 120 pounds like that, but I definitely can't do 120 pounds full range of motion. I don't know what I can do full range of motion. Maybe 80 pounds.
But the question
I
is why?
Yeah.
why?
That's what you always told me. Why, Dad? Why put yourself in a losing position?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the difference is you were training for one reason and I'm training for another reason.
yeah, that's true.
I'm only
That's true,
training
because
for
I
arm
can't.
wrestling. Yeah. Yeah, but you
Yeah,
liked
It's
it.
different.
I liked it. Yeah, and the strict curl when we went to Iron Gym or
Iron
Iron
Religion,
Religion Gym.
yep.
When we were on the way there, it's
See if
185
we get
pounds.
anyone in the chat.
What did
Yeah.
I do? Strict curl. We went all the way to the two of us, and I think it was 198 or something.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was your head had to be up against the
That's a
wall, and
big
your butt
strict curl.
also. and
So we just
strict.
do a Q&A.
That's
We
big.
can get more people in here.
So what
I
was
wasn't even wearing out. I just
what was the most you ever did standing curl? Do you know? 2 arms,
245s
245s.
on each
So
side.
225 with a barbell?
I think those are 22 pounds.
You said 225s on each side?
245s.
No,
245s.
So 180 plus the
Plus
weight of the
that.
bar.
No,
So
that-
25, I think.
Yeah, but
So like 205.
I could also do that, I'm pretty sure. Because I saw one dude in there one time. I said, look at that dude, he's doing it. So eventually I'm going to do
Yeah.
it. And deadlifts and, I have a lot of strong pulls, but I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not fun for me.
So once we found arm wrestling through Europa, the pros that we ended up talking to there was Brandon mainly, right? And then Craig as well.
Craig is the one who gave us his number.
Craig is the one that gave us his number. That's right. And when you text Craig, hey, this is Dan. I'm in Daytona. We're going to swing by for arm wrestling. He thought you were a different Dan. He thought you were Dan Martin.
Oh, he did?
He did. He thought Dan Martin was coming over.
Otherwise he would have invited this
No. But then
Filipino dude.
we showed up there and he was confused for a minute. He forgot he had given you his number. So that's kind of funny. Craig didn't even realize he was inviting you over to train.
That's when we had a barbecue and everything. wasn't
Yeah.
It It was a good gig.
Yeah.
Daniel Urich says, Dan looks 24, Chance looks 12. Good genetics.
Yeah.
Speaking of good
Thanks.
genetics, you want to talk about your bones?
My bones.
That's actually a very
Yeah,
interesting thing.
Because I think it's pretty interesting,
Yeah.
and I think it might apply to arm wrestling pretty well.
So I have no cartilage in my right shoulder. I had one surgery for a torn labrum here, carpal tunnel surgery, all these different things. So I was at an orthopedic about 3 years ago, and they were checking on my shoulder, and the doctor walks in and says, "Hello, Mr. Shaw, I'm Dr. Whoever, and congratulations, you officially have the strongest bones I've ever seen."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, how do you know that?" Maybe it's wrong. I haven't Googled it. I haven't looked at anything. I mean, I see my x-ray. But supposedly the largest, or the average man has about a 12 millimeter thickness of the bone. And anybody on here who's watching, if you can correct me, that's fine. But what I was told is that average was about 12 millimeters thick. So from the marrow to the outside of the bone. Do you know any of this stuff?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, marrow, the center of the bone, and yeah.
So 12 millimeters, and he says the largest that he saw was 20 millimeters, and mine are 30 millimeters.
30.
So more than
So-
double the average.
Almost triple.
So the whole myth and theory of that person's
Big bone?
big bone is a real thing.
Well, I can tell you this much: I could never. And I had my son, my daughter. They had swimming lessons, and the instructor was, "Everybody can float." And I said, "I cannot float.
What?
I cannot float." I take a big deep breath until the other day, actually last week.
That's just
And I'll relieve of that. So I would take a really large breath of air, and then I would be in my pool, and I would just sink to the bottom. So no matter how much air I could take, I would sink to the bottom.
What the hell?
And I needed more weights when we were diving than the guys that were my weight also, because I would sink, or less weights. I'm sorry. And then last week I told my son, which you were there, Kyle.
Yeah, it was.
It's a saltwater pool.
Yeah.
And I actually took a deep breath, jumped in the deep end, and my hair was sticking up above the water. So what did that tell you? I lost muscle mass and gained body fat because body fat
Yeah.
is buoyant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I officially
Well-
can float. I can't float where I can
With your
breathe.
head up, yeah.
It's interesting because I mean bones do start to condense with age. It's why they suggest that people keep working out so that they can hold on to muscle mass longer and longer. But I wonder someone like you who has bones that are nearly 3 times, how that's going to affect you as you get older.
I doubt I'm going to have scoliosis.
Yeah, you wouldn't
I'm
think.
not going to
I
be
would
that
imagine.
guy who, I've fallen and broke my bone. I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
It shouldn't.
No.
Because
Well,
even if your bones condensed, right, 50%, they're still thicker than the average person's bones.
I didn't
That's
put it
crazy.
together because I always drank a ton of milk, and Chance
Yeah.
always drank a ton of milk. And
We
You
go through a
you
couple
probably-
gallons of milk a week.
Your body
easily.
probably really needed the calcium.
must have. So anyway, my 10-year reunion, I'm going to flashback a little bit. So I graduated high school. I was 185 pounds, 31-inch waist.
Yeah.
When I went back, my waist was 34 inches and I was 185 pounds. I was working out, doing all this stuff, but I was lifting so heavy, doctor said, and I didn't put it together until, the orthopedic told me, a few years ago.
Mhm.
The bones just got thicker. So my hips, everything, all my bones I just got bigger
Mm.
because
Wow.
of all the heavy lifting that I was doing. That's what he said. Your body adapts, right?
I don't think the milk necessarily had anything to do with that.
I don't know if it is,
Yeah, but
but
you
some
listen
type
to
of
what you did.
genetic. You're
I wonder if genetically we produce more growth hormone or something because growth, that I understand, growth hormone is responsible for making your bones bigger.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that's actually
Couldn't tell
why. So babies are born with super high growth hormone levels.
Because they have to grow so much.
Yes, which allows them to grow, and those levels only come down from the age you're born to the age of 15. Right when you hit your big growth spurt, your growth is going down, 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 down. Then at 15, you get like a big spurt of growth hormone. Your growth plates seal, and then that's it. And you
yours was like 10 to 13 probably.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
you just-
there's variance, of course.
Yeah,
but-
you just, that's why you have those stretch marks and stuff. You
well,
just-
that I'm
Yeah.
fat.
well,
Yeah, that'll do it too.
I had the stretch marks all over my body. I had them on my biceps.
I have them everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was-
You can't see them as much. But
Yeah.
they're
They
way
heal.
all-
They heal a
all in
little
here.
bit.
Now me, I just graduated.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Skinny guys don't get that stuff.
Yeah. Unless you grow tall really quickly.
I was never.
You put on 150 pounds really quick, then it can happen.
Not even. Try like 80 pounds really quick.
My
That's
arms are so
funny.
sore.
Yeah. So
right now,
Matt Tickle My Limits Lair asked, what's my favorite rep range for pulley work? Do I prefer heavier weight or lighter weight? I don't do a lot of pulley work, but all of my gym stuff is partial range of motion. I never go full range of motion except for on like bench press. But anything arm wrestling related, it's always partial motion, and I prefer heavier weights. So I'd imagine it will be the same when I start using my pulley system. I don't use it yet, but I would imagine it's going to be partial range of motion, always in winning position, heavier weight. Do you guys have an opinion on pulley work for arm wrestling training?
I love pulley work for arm wrestling training. I
So-
like to just go heavy, and I'll go like a very heavy movement. Right, I'll just load up as much weight as possible, keep maxing out till I can't go, and then I'll once I've done it, I'll put that handle or whatever I did aside, and I'll come back to it later on.
So what's your rep range look like?
When I'm warming up, I follow the Todd Hutchings approach.
So
Right?
does he do full rep range?
Not when he's maxing out.
No.
Oh, full rep range?
Yeah, meaning like if you're doing a curl, are you going fully extended? Are you going half extended? What do you do?
It just depends. So you take one handle and you take it and you perform it in one way, and then you just continue to, as the weight goes up, you just have to move it from A to B. And that's the approach that I took for the last 8 months.
So
or
whether you're doing full range or partial range, you're just increasing the weight.
Well, you decide what you want to do. So say I wanted to set the pulley up to this side where my hand's outside my shoulder, and then I just wanted to cup and press it in, I'll do it. As long as I don't feel injured, right? I feel like that type of training can, one, cause injury if done incorrectly, or it could shock the nervous system too much, right? And if you're doing something where your joints are going to be forced into a stabilization point, and you go heavier and heavier and heavier, you're going to really shock your central nervous system.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily it matters so much whether it's full range of motion or like short interval motions. I think the important part is that you're using enough weight that's going to cause that growth stimulus, actually force the tendons to get thicker, bones to get pressure. It's just one of those things that like the only way to get stronger in arm wrestling is through heavy resistance training.
Yeah.
Like 90 to 100%. Anything else is just recovery work. And I don't think you can go 90 to 100% all the time, but when you can, you have to.
Yeah.
Because that's
like
how
you're
you
getting 4,
advance.
6,
Matt, it is
4
suicide
reps up
barbell.
on this heavy weight when you're lifting it.
What's that,
You're
Brian?
getting like 4 to 6 reps. Say your max is 100 pounds. You put on 90 pounds. Are you just getting 1? You're getting 2. If you get 6, is that too light?
Yeah, I would say 4 is too light. I don't know exactly percentages wise, because even when I was following like very closely, trying to do very similar like periodization, like Todd Hutchings training, I was really methodical with it, but the percentages I still wasn't, because it was for myself. It wasn't like I was programming for someone else, so I didn't really care too much about exact percentages. But I would say if you're 4 reps, you're probably not in the 90% range. I think to get to the very bottom end of a 90%, it'd have to be 3 reps at the most. So when I maxed out, I would do 10 reps, and then as soon as I felt like it was getting difficult, drop it to 3. Gets easier immediately, then I can keep going up in weight. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what Todd does as well.
Yeah, I don't follow his training too closely.
I think you should max every time you work out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I max every time I work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we did.
We did your tricep finisher today with Brian. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
We fried his
I cleared
triceps.
down,
Down,
yeah.
single arm.
I did far more weight than you ever could do, but I could barely get any weight.
I don't know.
I'm always used to training lighter weight, higher reps, 6 sets, 15 to 20 reps.
No
1 or
rest
2 reps.
time.
Yeah, no rest time. That's what I thought I needed to do to hypertrophy, make my muscles grow. Wasn't necessarily training my tendons. If I did 4 to 6 reps on something, I was like fucking killing myself. Wasn't good form. So I got used to the light training, 15, 20 reps, but it wasn't making me stronger.
Gotcha.
It was making me look better and make my muscles more defined. But if I go a little heavier and I can barely get it, I get discouraged, and then I feel better doing 15 reps with 30 pounds instead of trying to force 100 pounds.
That's the opposite thought process
Exactly.
of a powerlifter.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the powerlifter's like, man, why can't I get that?
Yeah.
I don't want to do 30 reps.
Yeah.
I want to do one big one.
I had purely the bodybuilding, hypertrophy, make my muscles look as good as possible mentality.
And I think that method will not work from an arm wrestling standpoint unless you do hard table time.
Yeah.
If you do hard table time, then totally. You're probably, for certain people who are more injury prone, I would say that's a better training methodology than maxing out every day.
Well,
Because if you're an arm wrestler and you pull a couple times a week and you max out in your table time session, then I think you're getting the training stimulus that you would need to grow and get stronger. Then you could go to the gym, do ultra high reps.
But then you'd
get
be doing
recovery benefits.
you would be doing the gym for recovery
Yeah.
and the table time for strength.
Yeah.
And I guess what we're more discussing, my dad and I, is doing the gym for strength.
Yeah.
And not relying on the table.
And I think at a
exclusively for
certain
strength.
point, as an arm wrestler, that's how it comes down to. You actually have to switch.
That's what I found out,
Yeah.
because my whole arm wrestling career has been almost exclusively table time.
Yeah.
But I think you can only get so strong from table time. And once you understand everything, and once you've kind of pushed your limits on table time, you have to get stronger in the gym.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm running into for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you've noticed, Chance, you've only done gym training like more consistently the last 5 months, and
Yeah, 5
it's
6
actually
months.
helped you quite a lot in terms of taking out all the big names that you traveled to these tournaments to beat.
Yep.
You beat Jordan Still twice in Kansas City. Beat
I'm
Ron
3-0
Bath.
against Jordan. I beat Ron
Yeah.
Bath and Kansas City. I recently beat Don Underwood twice. I beat Chris Chandler. That was at Michigan State's.
Big names, dude.
Yeah.
And
Big
it's,
boys that are double your age.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Double. Don
I know.
Underwood is in his 40s.
I know. So
Crazy.
I mean, I'm at the point where I have no option but to get stronger because I'm not going to beat the higher tier guys without being stronger.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how technical I am.
And you're already an arm wrestler that isn't going to benefit too much more from conditioning type training on the table.
Yeah.
I think
I like to consistently do it so I don't lose my edge. So I'm staying sharp on the table and thinking about everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be hard training for me.
Yeah.
Like pulling with you or Alden just 50%, that's plenty for me just to feel everything out. And that's so funny.
That's just 50%.
Honestly,
You sure it wasn't about 35?
that makes me feel good.
No.
50%.
Yeah,
it's like,
you're like, man, I'm strong.
Don't play my ego that much,
Bro,
bro.
100% and I only got 50. I have a good maybe point for this. And
Yeah.
from that old training that I had with my mentality of hypertrophy and bodybuilding and the old training I got from arm wrestling, there was a lot of high reps and very intricate movements, here, pronation, supination, up, and that's all I was doing. I thought it was working. I thought this is going to get my wrist stronger in a match. And I'm not going to drop a name, but a specific person in California told me, he's like, okay, so you're doing this and this and this, 10 reps, lightweight and a bunch of sets. He goes, how much force am I applying to you in an arm wrestling match with you defending this? Is it 10 to 15 pounds here? I'm like, well, no. He's like, then why the fuck are you training 10, 15 pounds? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I thought it was good for my tendons and blood flow and muscle.
Can you save the arm wrestler that
No.
led
pointed
you
it
away
out?
from it? No, the one in California.
The one in California that told me that, it was at
Yeah.
Alan Fisher's practice.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it wasn't Alan Fisher per se. He
Okay.
did say it in some aspects, but one
Uh-huh.
Pacific guy said, what the fuck are you doing? Stop doing that.
Mhm.
I'm not applying 10 to 15 pounds of pressure
Interesting.
in this motion. But that's all I was training. And as people see and as people know, I'm super weak in this position still. I can't top roll. I can't stop somebody taking my wrist. I rely too much on my arm.
Mhm.
But I'm still stuck in that mentality.
So
10 reps.
I just want to address a couple things in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt Tickle My Limits, Lara, Alex Willett, Daniel Urick, they're all kind of asking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Is that okay? Is this okay? I think that every person is going to find different results with different exercises and different training. And I think every person can find a path to greatness with different types of training. So my suggestion to you is do what feels best for you. Do whatever you feel that you're getting stronger with, whatever is making you a better arm wrestler. Don't just copy paste what Devin's doing or what Todd's doing or what I'm doing or what Kyle's doing, because that's not going to work for you. And most importantly, you have to find a type of training that you're going to be consistent with. Because if you try to run Todd Hutchings' program and you hate it and then you quit doing it after 2 days and then you go back to doing nothing, I mean, you were better off just sticking to doing something that's not as efficient, right? So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people are trying to buy training programs from different arm wrestlers. Yeah, Brian.
Like
And-
4 different programs from 4 different people, and I did not follow one of them 100% because, like Chance said, I did it for a few days. I'm like, this sucks. This is boring. I don't want to do this. I want to do that. And then my mentality took over, and I didn't follow it. But all 4 great arm wrestlers, all 4 people that I respect and I think are far better than I am, that could beat me in different levels, of course. But that works for them. Maybe if I wanted to follow, Artem's program that I purchased, or that Russian dude from Russia with the big biceps, I forget his name,
Mr. Banks,
something like that.
Yeah.
Follow, both that purchase their programs. I think I'm going to follow this. It's going to be great. Well, I don't pull like Artem. I don't pull like those guys, so it's not going to benefit me.
Just read that bottom.
Nice, retracted.
Yeah, you retracted it. That's funny. But yeah, so I mean, you're a great example. You can buy a great program. It might be the perfect program for you, but if you're not willing to run it, if it's too boring for you, it doesn't matter how awesome of a program it is because you're never going to end up running it. So, you kind of have to play around with everything. I don't think it's a bad thing that you bought 4 different programs because maybe you got a little bit from each one.
Oh, sure.
It's just important to not get set on running a certain program from a certain person. Just run what works for you.
Figure it out.
100%.
Maybe follow that program for a full 4 weeks and then change up your program completely and see if it matters. But it's going to take consistency and it's going to take time.
We're not going to get stronger in 2 weeks. We're not going to get stronger in 1 month. We could get more conditioned, but if I want to get my top roll better, it's not going to happen in 7 days. It's not going
Right.
to happen in 2 weeks of a program.
You need to spend that
Yeah,
month out,
Months,
whoever
months.
that person is, with,
Yeah.
and pull with them.
exactly. And you need to have the combination of everything.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Krasimir trains. If he knows that he's facing someone 6 months from now, he's going to be training specifically just to pull them for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you're not going to get stronger in a week. Oh, I'm going against a top roller next week. I better train my cup. Okay, you're ready. It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of ways to approach it.
Except I'm going to get stronger in 15 days to pull you back.
You don't have to get stronger.
Oh, yeah,
You're
you're right.
done.
Yeah, you don't need. You're strong
You
enough.
shouldn't even work out anymore. Just save
Left.
your muscles.
Right.
Righty.
Right?
They're pulling right-handed. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be good.
It's good for Levi that we're not pulling
I'll
lefty.
pull you right-handed.
I'll
Yeah.
put it right in.
I mean, I felt pretty good today, left-handed
But-
against you. So
Anyway, it's
I
just
would-
me though.
You guys
well,
pulled?
I think you're
Yeah.
stronger than
Oh,
Levi.
I missed that.
You can pull a little on. You can hop on the table for a minute. But we just passed 7:00. We were just running from 6 to 7.
Yeah, yeah.
So if anyone has any final words they want to say, anything to wrap it up,
Yeah, guys.
Right on, not left.
Oh yeah, I can't.
you want to say anything else, or
No,
we're all
I think
covered?
this was a good episode. I plan to have Alan Fisher on next week's episode.
Yep. Monday
Friday.
we're gonna have Krasimir on the show,
Huge.
and then next Friday we're gonna have Alan Fisher, and Mondays are gonna be on my channel. Fridays here on Kyle's channel. So make
Yeah.
sure you guys subscribe to Kyle as well.
Yeah, definitely tune in for next week, guys, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.